Hi and welcome to the video on frequency distribution tables. By the end of this video you should be able to draw a frequency distribution table. So let's have a look at what they look like. Frequency distribution tables are usually vertical like this and have three columns, 1, 2, 3. The first column will be your score, that's the set of numbers or the things that you are counting. Then you have a tally column, usually this will help you to keep track of all the numbers. And then you have a frequency column, and a frequency is just how often it occurs. And you get these numbers by reading out how many tallies there are. Sometimes they're horizontal, like this one, and you still have the scores and then the tallies and then the frequencies after it. Finally, you could also have a frequency distribution table that requires a lot of different numbers, so we put them into groups, and each group will be the same size. Let's have a look at at how to draw one. Here we have some information on some different colors. We've got red, green, and blue, and it looks like that's the only three colors that we have. So we want to draw up a table that has a row for the headings, it has 3 rows for the 3 different colors, and it has a final row for a total. Now we're going to build up a tally. The very first color is red, so we put a little dash in the tally column. Then we have a green, a blue, a green, and as you can see, the tallies will just keep going next to each of the colors. When you get to 4 of anything in a tally column, we don't do a fifth slash. Like, you wouldn't just keep doing these slashes to represent an extra tally. What we do is we put a little line through 4 of the dashes. This represents 5, and it makes it easier to count up lots of 5 in the tally column. So continuing on, we put a blue in, we put a green in, and just to fast forward a little bit, that's all the tallies that need to go in. Now what I want to do is put a frequency in this third column. We do this frequency because a number is easier to read than a whole bunch of tally marks. So in this tally here we have 5 and 2 more, that's 7. We have 5 and 4 more, that's 9. And we have 5 and 3 more for blue, that's 8. It's a lot easier to read how many red, green and blues there are now that we've got a frequency column. What I do now is I work out the total by adding up my frequencies to get 24. The reason why I do that is because I have 6 across and 4 down, which means I have 24 different colors. And that number of colors needs to be the same as my frequency. If it's not, I may have missed one and I'll have to go back. It's really important when you're going through this that you're very systematic. Don't try and find all the reds first and then put the tallies in like that. Start from the top left hand corner and work your way to the right and just keep going row by row. You will less likely make mistakes. Let's take a look at a situation where we have some numbers, but the numbers really do spread out over the course of the entire table. Now it looks like I've already started this first one, so this was the number 1, and the number 1 goes in this first row. What I'd like you to notice are these classes. We call these classes or groups because if I was to write all the numbers from 1 all the way up to, I think the biggest number here is 56. Yep, 56 is the biggest. I would need to have 56 rows. Now 56 rows is way too many. In fact, if you have any more than 10, you should probably consider using this class system. Now a class is a group of numbers that are always the same size in each row. So these classes are 10 numbers big. This one goes from 1 to 10. The next row goes from 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and then 51 to 60. You'll notice that the last number in each row is one before the first number in the next row. That's very important. We need to make sure that every number that is in our table has a specific row that it goes into. So 52 would come down here between the 51 and the 60. 31 would go between 31 and 40. This 20 went between the 11 and the 20. And if we go through, there's the first row, and then there's the whole tally. This frequency is going to be just how many tally marks there are. As you can see, every little gate, so 4 palings and the one that keeps them all together, is a group of 5. So this will be 6, this will be 5, this will be 1, and this will be 4. Again, we do a total, and I've got the same number of numbers here as the first example, so there's going to be 24 in total. I've just put them in the center because I like it, it looks nice. Here's what I'd like you to do. Instead of drawing up that example of the frequency distribution table, I'd like you to write down these steps for me. The first one is the scores go in the first column. Determine how many you need, how many rows you need. If there are more than 10 rows, consider using classes. Tallies go in the middle to help you keep count. Cross them off the list as you go. That way you'll be systematic and you won't lose any of them. and then write the frequency in the third column with the total down the bottom. Pause and summarize. And once you've done that, that's it. Now you should understand what a frequency distribution table looks like, and you'll get plenty of practice tomorrow in drawing some up for yourself. Good luck.